Good morning, everyone. Myself Pranati, and I'm preparing civils in Pragnya IAS Academy. Today in Topper Stop, we have Smit Panchal sir, hailing from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. His journey to this achievement both inspiring and remarkable. At the age of 22, he secured an impressive All India rank of 30 in the UPSC Civil Service Examination 2024. His journey is one of the most determination and resilience despite facing financial challenges and personal setbacks, including his father's health issue. He remained steadfast in the pursuit of becoming an IAS officer. His dedication paid off when he secured 830 in UPSC CSE 2024, a testament of his hard work and perseverance. He completed his undergraduate in political science from Ahmedabad and chose PSIR as his optional. Congratulations, sir, for securing 830 in examination. Now I request Mr. Shankar, sir, who is Senior Civils Faculty in Pragnya IAS Academy, to continue.
So Smith, how did you feel when you first saw your name with All India rank 30 in the finalist?
First of all, thank you so much for the lovely introduction that you guys gave me. Absolutely, sir. For any aspirant, seeing their name in that holy PDF is unreal experience. And when you get such a good rank, then obviously you throw up, you start jumping around. So basically, like for me, it was unreal experience. I never expected that I would get 30 rank, but by the God's grace and maybe by my little efforts and honest efforts, I have been able to secure All India rank 30 this year.
That's great to listen. So what exactly motivated you to pursue the civil services? Was there any particular moment that solidified that this dream to come true?
I think each aspirant has their own story. Each aspirant has their own struggle. Each one has situated in their own situations where they want to liberate themselves from that. I think for me, the biggest motivation was to liberate my father from his work profile, which was very deteriorating for his mental as well as physical health. And besides that, I always dreamt that I want to do something unique that will make my family proud. So I think UPSC provided me a platform, and this post has an attraction and has a power that it will provide you each and everyone with a 100% satisfaction. So I think the motivation began with the will to make my father proud and make my father voluntarily retire. As I have also mentioned in my interviews also that this was the main reason I want to go for UPSC. But over the period of time, I'm also understanding that the post provides you an opportunity that you can use the power to empower others also. So my motivation got strengthened by this also.
So in the introduction about you, I came to know just now that you have faced financial struggles and personal challenges, especially your father's health.
Yes.
And we know that as an aspirant, mentally becoming strong is also very, very important. So
Yes.
can you please share your experience? How did you stay mentally strong throughout this clearing of these services and all?
I think UPSC is also the game of mental resilience also, because the cycle is such that it will make you feel every kind of emotions during the prelims, mains and interview stage. We feel ecstatic when we clear the prelims, and once we get into mains preparation, we feel that how will we manage. So it, and after all this, if you are faced with another additional challenges like financial challenges, then it becomes very difficult to manage your emotions, manage your mental resilience. But again, as they are looking for such persons who can maintain their resilience and who can maintain their sanity during this tough period. So yes, I had faced some financial issues because my first attempt was kind of a scholarship based, because my cousin brother provided me all the financial things. But again, as I could not clear the prelims only, so I was feeling a bit of shame that I on asking for further money. So then I came back to my home. I started doing a job, and then I knew that I will. I had that self belief that I'll clear someday. So I had a specific amount in my mind that I had to save to get for the mains preparation, because I wanted to get some test series, and that required around 50,000 rupees. So I had in my mind that I have to earn somehow this much amount. So I did my job till 1st March. And then onwards, I shifted my focus to the I 100% started for 2024 prelims. And over the period of time, I think it has worked very well for me because I sustained through all this. I could get good rank. So I'm grateful for all the struggles. I do not like to glorify my struggle much, but these are the part and parcel of my life now.
See, that's really inspiring. So, coming to the preparation strategy, how did you divide your entire preparation for prelims, mains, and interview? Is there any unique approach that you follow so that it will be very helpful for the young aspirants?
I think all the stages require a different set of understanding. Like the requirement for each stage is different, and
Correct.
each stage requires different skills, different sets of skills. Because in the prelims, you do not have to write everything. So to some extent, you can skip the absolute knowledge part. You do not have to memorize each and every fact to the point exact, because prelims provides you the opportunity to choose from one of the options. So that
Correct.
is the liberty they gave in the prelims. But in the mains, the understanding gets deferred. You have to write something, and when you are writing, you have to be very precise. Your words has to be very precise. And in the interview, you are speaking, so it has to be more crisp, because you are speaking as well, and five people are there to judge you on the basis of what you present to them. So I think my preparation is basically based on my understanding of all the three stages. For prelims, I understand that there are certain understandings, like first, vast information will help you in the prelims, because if you can understand any of the toppers, they do not know more than 30 to 35 question in absolute sense. Rest of the question is dealt with by the educated guesswork. So I think the first understanding is you get vast information, and that will help you create peripheral knowledge base, because at the time it becomes difficult to predict what question will come on the paper. But you can get some idea, because you will, if you will have some idea about the question, you will be able to eliminate some options. You will be able to guess it more educatedly. Then the one more thing is, practice makes you perfect in prelims. So
Correct.
I think tests will help you a lot, because when we study anything, we study it in a linear manner. Like we accept it as a fact, but we do not know how it will be used in the question paper. Question paper will use permutation and combination for the same sentence. So this test will help in mental simulation of the real day exam, as well as it will make your revision very easy. So I used to follow this, like for GS. GS never gave me any problem, because in my first attempt I could not clear prelims because of CSET, not because of GS. I could score very well in GS. I think 25 marks above the cutoff. So for GS, I used to follow this. Like I have to give tests, and I used to stick very. I used to focus on basics more, because at the time I think people start treating current affairs as a subject as such. I do not feel that current affairs is a separate subject. I used to make it stick with the syllabus jo apna I think the foundational syllabus, I used to focus on that only. And I used to give the prelims test series as much as possible. And for CSET, I think the biggest gatekeeper for me in the first attempt was also CSET. So for CSET, in the first attempt, I could not clear it by a small margin of 3 marks. And then in the second attempt, I understood that we have to focus on CSET, because every year the level is increasing, and we cannot afford to take it lightly. So for CSET, I think my eureka moment was when I found out that uh, reading comprehension alone can give you an edge in the CSET. So like I focused very much on reading comprehension, because I had a humanities background. I was not very much comfortable with quantitative parts. But for me, I think this is the beauty of UPSC. It gives chance to everyone. So even the CSET papers is devised in such a way that it will give chance to everyone. You do not have to only focus on quantitative. There is reasoning and comprehension part, which can also be equally focused. So reading comprehension, I strengthened by revising more and more PYQs. And also in CSET, there are a repetition of questions, themes, and also repetition of methods of asking. So these two helped. So overall, this helped in the prelims. And for the second part, the biggest challenge is mains, because mains you are given 90 days roughly, and this year it is less than 90. It is 85 roughly days. So now for mains, I had two basic things. My two rules were, one is selection and other is management. So first was selection is I have to select those parts which are my strengths. I have to work very hard and make it my common sense, because I understand that when you are under pressure, your basic personality will come out. So if the knowledge is in your common sense, you do not have to think much. You do not have to put efforts to get that information out of your brain. It is part of your personality. It will come out on that day. So first, to manage, I have created that in the management, like you have to manage between GS, optional, and essay. So it becomes very hectic. So my timetable used to be like I gave 50% of time for the optional, because I understood that in the optional is the only paper which will give you 250 plus marks.
Correct.
Otherwise, in the GS, if you will see even this year's mark sheets, more or less every topper has the same amount of marks. They score roughly around 420 to 430. I scored 437 in GS part, but the real edge is given by the optional papers. So again, my seniors used to say that if you focus on three papers, that will alone will give you will ascertain your selection. One is essay paper, second is ethics, and third is optional. Because these three paper reward a lot, and optional gives a great edge. I have seen people just get selected because of optional only. There have been instances where people have scored more than 300 also in optional. So my understanding was I have to focus more on optional. My background was PSIR, so I was very confident that I will manage PSIR. So what I used to do is 50% of time in optional. Rest of the day, I will pick two GS paper. In the morning, I used to pick one of the GS paper, which is core subject like economy or polity. But in the evening, I used to pick the peripheral topics, which is like for governance or disaster management, which used to take less amount of energy. And also, one more thing is, in the mains, I think return on investment of PYQs is more than in the prelims. So there are more repetition of themes in mains than in prelims. I think this should be noted down. Another thing is that I used to create a sin book. Like I had created a sin book that if I get wrong in this, I am out of the race. So in mains, as I said, there is a pressure situation and you have to get it into your common sense. So I created certain topics which were like in that mistake was not acceptable for me. For example, I added governance, I added internal security, I added disaster management, and I added society in the society vulnerable sections. So I thought this is the places where I should not think in the exam period, because there could be questions which is not faced by me in my lifetime. So I have to give the equal time at that time in the paper also. So this I created this in book and I focused on that. One more question that comes during the mains is utility of the test series, or what is the role of answer writing. So yes, answer writing used to haunt me just like any other candidate, and answer writing do give you reward, because ultimately it is a subjective paper. You have to get your knowledge out of, you have to shift from prelim specific to main specific. So answer writing helps you in change of that mindset. So but for me, this time I could not manage well. So I made promise to myself that I'll not write much of the answer writing or test. I roughly wrote 10 test copies for GS, two for PSI. But what I focused more was on brainstorming, because I had time constraint, but I do not wanted to compromise on the quality of answers. So what I used to do is there was only one substitute that I will pick up a test paper and I will scribble over it. That what will I write? What are the thoughts that I get? So that I used to do. And also GS, because of my background, I got some confidence that I'll write good in PSI. And one more thing is, even in the test series, students should not take marks very heavily on their side, because this happens that you take your given marks as your fate and then you get depressed. Now, for example, in my PSIR, I had given only 2 tests, full length tests, and they gave me roughly 150 marks combined. But I did not take it as my fate. But what I did is, uh, I improved on my weaknesses. I got understanding that these are my weak points. I improved on them, and ultimately in the real exam I could score 275 in the PSI. So you should not take it as your fate, but improve on your weaknesses. What tests will give you is, they will highlight what are your weak points. They will give you chances that yes, you can improve like this. So do give tests, but do not take it as your fate. And one more thing, the biggest factor that helped me in the mains preparation and mains marks is value addition part. Because in mains, the main focus should be on value addition. Everyone will write the basic information, but value addition will give you an edge. And for that, I used only one source, that is topper's answer copy. These are the most fine value addition for your questions. Because understand this, that a topper will write an answer on any topic by filtering out his own content. Suppose there is a question on NGO. A topper must have read 20 pages of information on NGO. Then he must have read very crisp and very filtered out content on that part. So you are getting very crisp and filtered out value addition. So I used to revise PYQ, topper's answer copy. During my lunch and dinner, I used to just go through them. So they acted as my revision partner as well, and they acted as a value addition partner. So these are few things that helped in mains, and I could clear it. And for specific to optional, my optional was PSR. So there are two pieces of advice that I would like to give. Like, first is focus on language, because PSR is a subject of language. So if you have to understand your language, and for that, create a small dictionary of important keywords, and this will give you very good edge. And second is always focus on flow of answers. In PSR, if you can manage your flow, even without writing the facts, you can score very good in PSR. So these are the two advice for mains. And I think through this, I could manage well and clear the mains. And I think for interview, the last stage interview, the rule of management also works in the interview as well. Just like in prelims, you have to manage your GS and CSET, and in mains, you have to manage your GS optional and essay. In interview, you have to manage your emotions, because ultimately that is the time when they will check your emotional intelligence, whether you have the ability to go through the pressure situation. So in interview, I had very less time. My interview was on 15 January. I had hardly 20 to 25 days to prepare. And I think that was also blessing in disguise, because I had not much time. I could not think much about the strategy and all. I just focused on my work. I just focused on my def. And gratefully, I have scored 204 in interview. And that has worked for me, because two, three things in interview was, first rule is always be honest. Don't bluff. Because if you feel that you are more smart than them, so that is the biggest misconception. They are very smart. They have spent their whole life in service. So first thing is be very honest. And second is always stick to your roots. Be proud of what you are. And that worked for me. So for interview again, and always be prepared for uncertainty, because for me, my interview began with uncertainty only, because I had no relation with science and technology, and my first question was, what do you think about commercialization of space sector? So you have to be prepared about the uncertainty, because that will only give you an edge. So these are the three stages that this was my strategy to deal with all these three stages, and I think it has worked well for me.
A very perfect, sir. But here, as you are briefing about your strategies for prelims, mains, and interview,
Yes.
I clearly understood that general essay, your optional paper, and if I'm not wrong, your so-called ethics paper
Yes.
is going to play a very crucial role.
Yes.
And being a graduate from PSIR, as you mentioned,
Yes.
so could you please brief any specific books or thinkers or the strategies that really helped you to score well in PSIR?
I think for PSIR, my foundation was created during the college years, but I wouldn't say that my whole optional preparation was done in the graduation itself. because the requirement for graduation and requirement in the optional paper is very different. So here they are requiring you an expert level understanding. At least your basics should be very clear. So yes, I had an edge because I had very good understanding of the concepts like state and other political philosophy. For sources, I would say I stuck to class notes because I understood that in this UPSC journey, if you stick to one source, it will give you more benefit rather than going for from one book to another. And I think less is the more beautiful thing in the UPSC because that will give you time to revise it more and more. So I joined the coaching and I stuck to my class notes, and for that, because of because of that, I used to revise. I had time to revise it 10 times, I think, because I started preparing in 2022 and I had good time that it became part of my personality. I used to, because for me, PSIR was like part of my common sense because I understood that if I want to score good marks, I have to make it part of my personality. So I used to use regular life, I used to use words of PSI, like if I saw someone who is earning more, I used to say you are very capitalist. If I saw someone who is like more socially oriented, I used to give him some titles like socialist and all. So I made part of, but again, as I said, PSIR, what gave me edge is a focus on language and focus on the flow, because in mains flow will make your preparation very good and make your answers come out from others. And for language, again, use your three senses: read more, listen more, and speak more. This will make a good thing for you. And one more thing is PSIR, focus on PYQs. PSIR PYQs get repeated a lot. There are high, like verbatim repetition is there, and there are very limited chances or limited options to tweak the questions also, because in the political philosophy, in the thinkers part, what will you get? You will not get something new. It is given only. So they will repeat a lot. The PYQs get repeated a lot. So I focused on PYQs during the mains also, and language and flow. These were the strategy for me in PSI.
So being an young aspirant here, uh, at a very youngest age, 22 years, is not a small thing. So how did you manage that time during your preparation, especially as a recent graduate? Because the strategies which would burn you out, staying consistent, which required something, right? So it could be very helpful for the young aspirants here
Yes.
as well.
I think the first thing every aspirant should learn in this cyber age is you have to learn to cut out the noise. There is multiple voices right now. There are hundreds of strategy given every. If you will enter the, like I prepared from Delhi, if you will enter a single lane, there are hundreds of toppers and giving hundreds of strategies. But that this is like this has created this generation a confused generation. They make you confused, so you get so confused. So I think first thing is learn to cut out the noise, because the disclaimer is I am here to share what worked for me. I am based on certain situations which is different from you. Each man is an island, each man have their own strategies, each man have their own mental aptitude. So first thing is to cut out the noise and take only those parts which works for you. And second thing is, in this journey, have total faith on yourself. If you do not have faith on yourself, if you do not have faith on your teachers and your sources, then you will always feel inferior than others. You will always find yourself comparing with others. You will feel that they are superior. None of them are superior. Each, the beauty of UPSC is everyone is given equal chance. I am a humanity graduate. My fellow toppers are engineers, someone is CA. So first of all, get that thing out of your mind that I will not be able to clear because I am from some certain background. That is not the case. UPSC provides equal opportunity to everyone. And suppose you are preparing from college years, so I think my first advice would be, please create your foundation very well, because if you have conceptual clarity, your life becomes very easy in the later years. If you have conceptual clarity about each each of the subject, then value addition and the standard books becomes very easy for you. Now suppose if you do not have understanding of parliamentary democracy and you directly start reading Lakshmikant, it is not of any use for you, because you will just mug up the facts, but you do not have the understanding of essence. You have to understand what is democracy, what is parliament. So that's how, if you have conceptual clarity, that will help you strengthen your preparation, and it will not become a burden on yourself. You will enjoy, because in this journey it is equally important to enjoy this journey, because understand this will not come back again. You have to make it very clear to yourself that okay, I'll clear my conceptual clarity during the college years. It also happens that time management becomes difficulty, so stick to some NCRT books, then gradually you can increase your levels. But I think the exam requires full-time preparation, so maybe after the college you can give dedicated year, or even those who want more energized and who want to clear in the first attempt, even only after the graduation, then in the third year you have to focus very much. I think at least 6 hours to 7 hours you have to give to preparation of this exam, and this will. But the underlining is focus on concepts, and that will help a lot.
So now that you are entering the IAS,
Yes.
so what are some areas or issues that you are passionate enough about working on?
I think the first area is working for the people having similar background. Like I come from a background, very humble background. Like uh, I'm the first generation graduate in my whole family. So I want to work for my community. First thing is, but not only the community. I do not want to make it very niche area of working. Second thing would be women empowerment. I think women are the greatest untapped resource India has. 49% of women, and we are not using them, and they have excellent potential. I have seen, you can see the result of this year also. All India rank 1, All India rank 2, All India rank 4, all of them are women. So you just need to give them platform, and they will do great in their life. I think third would be to channelize the power of youth. We want to create the developed India. Developed India cannot be created without the youth power. So I think these are the three areas of my focus, and also education and health becomes the eternal resource. Yes.
So coming from Ahmedabad, how did your local environment and upbringing influence your aspirations to reach?
I think first of all, there is very less of a talk. Like civil services is not much of a talk of the town.
Correct.
Mainly, it is business oriented. So
Yes.
what I chose was also a very different path. So I could not uh, gather around much people who were talking like this. So, but yes, two three things that help in Ahmedabad is people are very humble. So that has made me grounded very much. Another thing is people are goal oriented and they work. They have one goal, whether it is money or anything, but they work. They will get up and they will work. And third is they not only work for themselves, they will think about society also. So there is an extended responsibility in each one of them that I have to give back to the society as well. So these three things will help me a lot in my service also. And I think yes, this.
Fine. So what values will you guide in public service, which could be incultivated right from the preparation days onwards?
I think first value is self-belief. First of all, understand that you have to have total faith in yourself, because otherwise you will always feel demotivated, you will always feel inferior, and that will reduce your energy. Second thing is sticking to your roots. Never forget where you come from. And I think many people now ask me, what was your source of motivation? First of all, the place from where I come from, asking for motivation is a luxury. It is a privilege. When you have no food on your plate, you do not have to get motivated to get food. You will think only about that. So so the second thing is this only, like sticking to your roots. And third is mug up your ethics syllabus. That is the values that will be useful in your whole life, and not just civil services. That is useful in any walk of life. you need honesty, you need integrity. Without them, nothing is possible in this life. And one more value is leadership. Don't only think about yourself, lead your life, lead your family, and lead your society. And that will make India lead the world.
Great. So thank you so much, Mr. Smith, for sharing your incredible journey, insights, and even wisdom, let me say,
Thank you so much.
with us today. So your story is not just about cracking the civil services examination. It is about the grit which we really require, the resilience and the unwavering focus, which I could understand, that too as a psychologist even. So you have shown us that age is not a barrier when
Yes.
passion meets the perseverance.
Yes, sir.
Your journey from Ahmedabad securing 30th rank at a very youngest age, 22 years, is surely inspire the countless aspirants across the country, especially my students here at our academy. So on behalf of everyone present here, we once again congratulate you wholeheartedly and wish you all the very best for your future endeavors in the Indian Administrative Service.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
And I would like to give the same for the thanks voting session.
Thank you, Devishankar sir, for having such wonderful question. This is Vashik, and I am preparing civils in Pragnya IAS Academy. Good morning. On behalf of all the students of Pragnya IAS Academy, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, for this wonderful and enriching session. Sir, for aspirants like us, constantly listening to someone who has successfully cracked the examination is a tremendous source of motivation. Your session has provided us with invaluable insights and renewed sense of determination. We are truly thankful that you took out time from your busy schedule to be with us today. It means a lot to each one of us and will surely impact our preparation journey. We would also like to thank Pragnya IAS Academy for facilitating such powerful session with top achievers and Advantage AI for making this interaction possible. On a positive note, we can end this session. Thank you all.